Hi guys, Dr. Justin Berta, Tattoo Business Doc. As always, follow us on all our social medias, TikTok, podcasts, in website, Facebook, LinkedIn, we're everywhere. So guys, I had a very interesting discussion with a guy I know. He's not the most cleverest guy really. I mean, he's a worker. He's a young guy, married to his lovely wife, but hy het na die spoeg en plakskool toe gegaan en sê daar, I'm sorry, he literally went to the special class in his time. I mean, he made a clock in matric in woodwork. So last night, and he spoke to me and he was like, I'm working for a company and they're seeing me as a contractor and they're paying me just my money and they're not deducting all the expenses, like Beja and all those kind of things, and the reimbursement of company expenditure, this, that, the next thing. And I sit there and I'm like, you're doing what? You're a contractor. Guys, a contractor is, there is no such thing anymore. If you work for one company and more than 80% of your time, income, everything else is spent on one company, you're an employee of that company. Guys, contractors have been gone for a long time. For a long time. If they don't pay your taxes, you have to pay your bloody taxes. But every time I speak to him, he's lent his ear out to all the guys he works with and people, or wada, and everybody is most an expert, chartered tax advisor. You know what, they've got 26 years of experience, they've got the degrees, they know how things work in this country, young. And that's clever. And clever makes her clever, why stupid? You know, it's terrible when I sometimes listen to people and I'm like, but that guy said, and I'm like, what does that guy do? No, he's a plumber. Or I'm like, what does that guy do? No, he's a builder. And I'm like, shit. So that means I'm a tax expert, so I can go and do plumbing and building. Shit, I never know. I never knew. Hell, who knew that shit? Guys, lending out your ears to wrong people gives you the wrong advice, and it is backfiring terribly on people. You know, it's people just don't listen. Everybody thinks they're clever. Everybody thinks that they know exactly how this country works, the rules and regulations, and SARS, and everything. Guys, SARS has got so much information. If you think that your company or you are too small and SARS will never know, guys, that's the biggest mistake you make right there. Right there. You make yourself an idiot. And you lend it your ears out to your brother, your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law, people at a bride, or people in a bar, or the people at your work that's in the same boat as you, actually. You know, there's so many companies that just want people to work on a contractual basis because they want to hire and fire as they feel like, and people are just so happy to have employment. And by all means, I understand that. I really do. You know, I've got a bunch of clients now that works for international companies which get paid in dollars and euros and all those lovely things. And I say to them, sorry guys, let's register a company, or we register you for pay as you earn, so you pay your taxes every month. We understand your income and expenses because you do have, because you're working from home. So there's home office expenses, there's vehicle expenses, there's cell phone expenses, there's internet expenses. That's that next thing. We can claim that against your income. So you pay less taxes, all those kind of things. But pay your taxes. Pay it on a monthly basis. Make sure you're paying for it because you're employed by a company which is not in the Republic of South Africa. And they will not deduct your taxes in that tax jurisdiction. Right? If they did, then we could ask for, in terms of double duty taxation, all those kind of things, claim and all those kind of things. But guys, listen to me. Stop lending out your bloody ears. Okay? People out there are not educated. They don't know. They think they're all keyboard warriors and keyboard pilots and AI educated and chat GPT educated and. Guys, if you look at how AI does it, it searches a bunch of websites and tells you what those websites say. Now, if it's right or wrong, quite frankly, I'd rather speak to a human being that studied this for many a year, that works with SARS, that knows how things work, that work with the Department of Labor, that work with QAIDA, that actually works with the government departments, because the internet is a source of information. But it doesn't tell you about the practical implications of that. Does it work the way the law wants it to work? No. You're in Africa. Where the hell have you ever seen the law being applied correctly? You know, look at our state of our legal system. I mean, every day you wake up, there's a new revelation about hundreds of million rands of contracts. It's gone to some Cat McClellan, whatever the hell, and the Big Five, and we've got so many, mafia-style people and organizations. And I mean, if you look at the politicians, I mean, they're probably eating money, and it's a circus out there. And now you're going and lend your ears out to people that think they're educated, but not really. Most of these people have got a massive chip on their shoulders because they think, and have been getting away with it for so long, yet too long, too short. Guys, you're getting away with it maybe for now. Artificial intelligence can be highly effective for a tax revenue organization to gain information on you, because they not only take your financial information, and be warned, I've had people that's been caught out on TikTok for saying, oh, I'm in New York and I'm buying Prada, Gucci, Versace, oh, look at my glasses, oh, I spent a whole day in a nice spa in New York. And so I was like, sorry, how did you afford to go to New York? Sorry, did someone sponsor you? And we love your Versace and all those kind of things, but you're paying dollar and it's high end. And how do you really afford that? Because your income is like 11 grand a month. So how did you take a loan? What did you do? And then it drags the husband into it, and before you know it, it's just a mess. Or on Facebook, I live this high life, and you know what? AI is looking for those things. Okay, they're looking for that as they did in the age-old times, back in the day when everybody was clever. So be very mindful. But the message is, please stop lending out your ears. Speak to the professionals. Speak to the people that actually knows and have studied these things. Because people at a bar are not clever. Brandewijn clever is not clever. Castle Light, even if you drink Castle Light, it's still got booze in it. I've seen people get drunk on 0% beer. It is ridiculous. Alright? So stop lending out your ears. Not everybody's an expert. And don't just blindly follow advice you get from your parents, your grandparents, everybody else. Things have changed. And the older you get, the less you listen, because you now think you know. Nobody will tell me. Who the hell do you think you are to tell me? Guess what? You're too old. Retire. Leave the young people to do their thing. Alright, you're part of the past, not part of the future. And guys, just please. There's nothing worse you can do than to think you're clever and you do not get professional advice. You're sinking yourself by not listening to the right people. You go to fools that think they're clever. And that will sink you. I promise you that. And you will always wait for that sword that's above your head to swing and chop off your ears. Because you are listening to the wrong people. Got your back and everything will be okay. We'll have this discussion again. See you soon.